Welcome to Gujarat Prephub. In CCE and GPSC exams, profit and loss questions typically account for 2 to 3 marks per paper. Today, we are going to look at a logical approach to these problems that moves away from memorizing formulas. There are 5 variables involved in these transactions: cost price, selling price, marked price, discount, and overhead. Whenever you pay for transport or repairs after a purchase, that overhead is added to your buying price to determine your total cost price. This total is the starting point for every calculation that follows. Notice how the diagram focuses solely on the cost price. This is the core principle of the topic. Whether you are looking at a profit or a loss, the percentage is always determined relative to the cost price. Our calculation remains consistent. We take the profit or loss amount, divide it by the CP, and multiply by 100. Many aspirants mistakenly calculate these percentages against the selling price. By keeping the cost price as the fixed denominator, we establish a consistent logic that carries through even the most complex word problems. Let's apply this to a basic scenario. If you buy an item for 500 rupees and sell it for 600, you have a 100 rupee profit. Placing that 100 over our 500 base results in a 20% profit. If we introduce overhead, the math remains the same. A bicycle bought for 1,200 rupees with 300 in repairs has a true cost of 1,500. Selling that same bicycle for 1,200 means a loss of 300. We calculate that 300 against the 1,500 base, which again gives us a 20% loss. When we need to find a selling price, we can simplify the process by treating the cost price as exactly 100%. If we want a 15% profit on an 800 rupee item, the selling price becomes 115% of our base. By calculating 800 times 115 over 100, we reach 920 rupees in a single step. This method of treating the cost price as a 100% baseline allows us to bypass multi-step algebra. Instead of finding the profit and adding it to the total, we use a single percentage to find the final price. Finding the cost price when working backwards requires careful attention. If an item sells for 1,440 rupees at a 20% loss, it is incorrect to simply calculate 20% of that 1,440. Consider the relationship. If the starting cost price is 100% and we lose 20%, what percentage of the original value does our selling price actually represent? It represents 80%. Therefore, 80% of our unknown base is 1,440 rupees. To find the full 100%, we multiply 1,440 by 100 and divide by 80, revealing a cost price of 1,800 rupees. We can apply this same logic to problems involving 2 different conditions. Imagine one scenario with a 15% profit and another with a 5% loss. On a percentage line, the distance between 115% and 95% is a 20% gap. If that gap represents 600 rupees, we can conclude that 100% equals 3,000 rupees. By placing different outcomes on a single 100% axis, we turn complex comparisons into a simple measurement of the distance between 2 points. You will often see word problems stating that the cost price of 12 items equals the selling price of 10 items. The phrasing is designed to be confusing, but the relationship is straightforward once reframed. To see the profit clearly, we let the quantities exchange roles to represent currency. The 10 becomes the cost price and the 12 becomes the selling price. This reveals a 2 rupee profit on a 10 rupee investment, which is a 20% gain. Retail problems introduce a different starting point. Unlike profit and loss, a discount is always calculated against the marked price, the value shown on the price tag. When applying successive discounts of 20 and 10% on a 2,000 rupee item, we do not simply add them to 30%. We first deduct 20% to reach 1,600. Our subsequent 10% discount is then calculated on that new, lower balance, removing another 160 rupees to reach a final price of 1,440. This sequential calculation ensures that each subsequent discount applies to a smaller number, which results in a different total than a single flat percentage. Let's apply these steps to a final problem. A trader sells a TV for 24,000 rupees and earns a 20% profit. What was the original cost price? Pause the video, apply the 100% logic, and share your answer in the comments. This grid summarizes the 6 scenarios we covered. The consistency of these problems relies on identifying your respective bases. Use cost price for profit and loss and marked price for discounts. જો તમને અમારું કોન્ટેન્ટ પસંદ આવે તો અમારી ચેનલને લાઇક કરો, કમેન્ટ કરી દો અને તમારા CCEની તૈયારી કરતા મિત્રોને શેર કરી દો અને સબસ્ક્રાઇબ કરવાનું બિલકુલ ના ભૂલતા, જેથી અમને વધુ સારા વિડિયો બનાવવાનું પ્રોત્સાહન મળતું રહે. આભાર. Utilizing a consistent logical framework helps maintain accuracy and speed even when the exam timer is counting down. Keep practicing these steps, and we will see you in the next masterclass.